What's up, everyone? Back here with another quick review. This time I'm serious. It's going to be a quick one. Got ENIAC issue 1. So I just reviewed Berserker issue 1, my first indie review, and here I go with another indie comic, except this is by Bad Idea, a new publishing company who did something kind of interesting. They were only available to participate in comic shops, and you could only order them, and you had to order the entire story. ENIAC is a 4-issue story. It's also their flagship title. It was the one that sounded cool to me. Probably sounded cool to them too, which is why they led with this one. And I was like, yeah, this sounds really cool. So I'm happy when new comics come out, and they want to do something bold and cool like that. And I'm happy to support that kind of stuff, especially because it seems like it's such a win for local comic shops. So that's really cool. Uh, Same as Berserker, this is written by Matt Kindt. Matt Kindt is the man. He's one of the busiest guys in comics right now. So he's like the indie guy to me, and I would even say that this was better written wise than Berserker. I liked Berserker more because I liked the idea, but this was a really well written comic. Matt Kindt, I've pretty much liked everything I've read by him. Got Doug Braithwaite on art duty. He's been around a while. I was first introduced to him. He did a few issues of Matt Kindt's Exo Manowar, and he cycled through the artists like every 3 issues in that. Like first it was Tomas Guerrero for 3 issues, and then 3 issues of Doug Braithwaite, then 3 issues of Clayton Crane. It was so good. Really great artists. And I feel like everyone at Valiant is just jumping ship right now, and it was so good. A few years ago, I was buying a lot of Valiant comics, and they don't put out a lot every month, but I was always excited about them. And now it's just like they're just running into the ground. So the creators are like, yeah, let's do our own cool new thing. So here it is. Great cover by Luis LaRosa, who did a lot of Exo Manowar covers too. So this is a bit of an indie comic dream team right here. Really, really cool cover. Really nice feeling cover. Very expensive feeling paper. Definitely not cheap at all. I don't know if you can tell in this video, but it's like a matte finish except for the font and the character. It's kind of glossy. So it definitely feels heavy, feels very special. So jumping right into it, you pretty much are introduced to I guess, the main characters of this story, these 2 chicks that are, I guess they're like spies, they're government agents of some kind, getting intel. Kind of got this scene right here of them kind of getting intel from this guy and then killing him. So it's pretty much, they're not the most interesting characters in the world, but it's just showing you that they're incredibly efficient, and there's some sort of covert operatives of some kind. And yeah. So then it gets over to what is happening now. They're meeting up with the Secretary of Defense, who's meeting them in the desert. No clothes on. They're all naked. It's a total spoiler review. Reviews, spoiler. I don't know if you can get your hands on one of this if you didn't already order it, but go out and get it. It's a recommend from me. But yeah, so this is the Mission Impossible, if you choose to accept it, moment. But he's giving them the mission face to face because this is super, super highly classified, top secret stuff. The target is codename ENIAC, and story starts all the way back in 1942. Goes over there. So ENIAC stands for the Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. It's developed at Area 23. Pretty much the government dumped a lot of money into it for military uses. They want to know. It's pretty much a giant number cruncher. They want to know where to drop the bombs. They want to anticipate where the enemies are going to be. Got this scientist who ends up pretty obsessed with it. Dumps all of his time and energy, his heart and soul into this thing. He's alienating his friend. And then this thing starts going full Skynet. It's starting to think for itself. It's developing a personality, and kind of like this bit right here, this line of dialogue. It's talking. If I can program it to ask for information, to tell me what it needs. This guy's like, no more. The more you pour into that thing, the more you're losing of yourself. But we're so close. I can program it to educate itself, to think. It could interact. It could feel. What is feeling anyway but a series of chemical reactions? This guy's losing it. So anyway, This cool part right here. The general's pretty much telling him that this thing could have the potential to win him the war. Oppenheimer and the boys can't do it on their own. So, yeah, getting right to it. He's growing a beard. Some time passes by. They add more people who spend all this time dumping as much information into this thing as they could. By the time it was all said and done, it was smarter than everyone else. We built Pandora's box and then opened it. You see that she's even dumping this book about principles and moral development. This thing is becoming a super smart supercomputer, and it's still in just the 40s. They pretty much start to realize that this thing is going crazy. It had them drop a bomb that the computer thought needed to be dropped to win the war. And it worked out in their favor, but a person didn't sign off on that order, and so it was just super sketch that it just made it appear legit. And these bombers actually listen to it because they follow orders. Really great art, good art of an explosion right there. And then even the computer turned on the scientist guy who created him, framed him, left this letter making it appear that he's the one who. He's the one who planned to drop that second bomb at Nagasaki, and pretty condemning. And so even though the war is over now, the war with ENIAC has begun. It jumps all over the place. You can't isolate it. It's a supercomputer. It's everywhere. They sent. There's this nice little mission right here. What are they doing right there? They're taken to stop this ship from launching some bombs or something like that. You get this kind of cool image of these very diverse 4-man group, this squad here who's sent in, and American soldiers who are attacking American soldiers, and they don't feel good about that. These are guys who follow their orders. They stop the bombing. But they couldn't stop ENIAC, so he's still out there. Going right through this art. Really good art. Send their biggest brains, all these smart guys, to try and take it down, but they can't. And basically, ENIAC tries to kill the girls when they go in to do their mission. Weird little exchange of dialogue, and I thought when I saw these two girls, like, there's no way they're lesbians, are they? And then they makes this weird comment about, when are we going to take a vacation? I like your optimism. Of us? ? Of us surviving this mission. And then she looks all sadsies because I don't know. It's like, that's of the two women. It's like you really don't know much about them. I kind of like the blonde more. She has a little more of a sense of humor. She has a little bit more of a personality. But it's like, man, yeah, all right. Well, I guess are they in a little 2-person unit together because they're in love with each other, or are they just friends? I don't know. That was a little ambiguous. So maybe they're just the writer's way of leaving the door open. A little distracting for me, not necessary, but there are better ways to, I think, give them some depth. Not everyone in a 2-man unit has to be like in love with each other. But anyway, they survived the plane crash, and ENIAC is onto them. They targeted the computer. I think satellite imagery has targeted them. So, pretty good stuff. Weird backup story, just black and white, quick kind of Twilight Zone episode of a guy with a suitcase that he can't open, and it drives him kind of crazy. It's a little entertaining, but it was like kind of inconsequential. It's all good, and makes more to give this a more full comic. So anyway, super simple. I've seen the plot before. Evil computer. First thing that came to my head was war games. Especially with how much the military is involved with this thing, and of course HAL 9000 from 2001: Space Odyssey. Then I got to thinking a little more. It's like that's a really old school idea. The old school idea of an evil supercomputer. And that reminded me of the Master Control program in Tron, and let's see, what was that one? Logan's Run. Yeah, the main computer in that one too was evil and kind of behind everything. You know, the most recent I can think of is that Eagle Eye movie, with the supercomputer kind of behind everything that was bad going on. So this is pretty much like that. It's pretty much like that. Seen this plot before, so it's not like this is uncharted territory. But it was incredibly well written. It was very well done, very engaging, and I'm excited for the next issue. I really want to see how these agents are going to possibly survive and take the fight to this computer that seemingly knows everything and is everywhere at once, and they've been unable to stop it up to now. And oh yeah, forgot a super important part. The reason that this is a dire situation is because it's because they recently realized that it started a timer to set off a bomb. So things just got real. Okay, so they don't know for sure. He thinks it's a missile launch, nuclear missile, and so don't have much time. You have what is this? You have 3 days left to find out what it's doing, kill it, and save humanity. So I'm like, whoa! Somebody call the Avengers! Now it's like something tells me we're definitely going to see this guy and his band of merry men again, which is cool because I like them. We didn't get to see them very long, and they were they kind of look interesting. So it's like, nah, we got to see more of them. So super engaging book. I don't know what's with the cover. I'm going to assume that maybe in the next issue or so that the ENIAC is going to start springing to life and trying to zombify people. So I don't know, very interesting stuff, very creepy. Yeah, I'm into it. So definitely a recommend. This is a lot of fun. Yeah, really, really good. I love comic books. I love superhero comic books. That's why I read so much Marvel and some DC. Uh, so if it's an indie book that I'm reading and I like, then you know it's good. This is really good stuff. So thanks for watching. Bye.